Last time we saw you, you were in San Francisco raising money for your organization.
Yes.
Did you happen to go to an airport in order to get here?
Yes.
You did. Were you at all, by any chance, taken by something produced by a company called OTG? Mr. Blatstein right here. OTG allows you to go to your iPad, plug it in, and actually order food if you're waiting for your plane.
I haven't yet, but I hear it's fantastic, and I'm looking forward to experiencing it.
See, he's well schooled in this. So tell us, what are you doing at OTG? Last time you were here, you were talking about the implementation of OTG facilities at Kennedy, also at LaGuardia. What have you done so far?
Well, we're last time we spoke about a 7,000 iPad rollout. We're about a third of the way through that in Toronto, Pearson, Minneapolis, St. Paul, and also LaGuardia Airport. We just started to introduce language support. So now there's a dozen different languages to start. We'll go up to about 20 languages in the next 60 days. So now you just push your flag, it switches to your language, and really it's a very comforting experience to be able to speak in a language in which you understand back and forth.
Makes sense, right? You don't want to order in English if English is not your native language and you're on a trip. What about the cost of implementing this? You say you've got 7,000 on the line. What about the cost of doing this inside of airports? Is that a particular challenge?
Well, airports are an expensive place to work, and we're spending tens and hundreds of millions of dollars as we speak building out in airports. But it's the greatest place in the world to work in. There's business every single day. There's delays. There's customers who love to enjoy great food and love great experiences, and we just bring that to them.
Brian, this idea that, technology changes everything it touches, we know this, but in the particular case of OTG, if there was an opportunity for a startup, in other words, if you were going to go to Rick and say, look, you guys focus on the food, we'll focus on the technology, what kind of startup would you think of in a situation like this? Where can you make the most money?
Yeah, on the spot. Well, I can obviously be very biased for my
Please
particular
do. Go right
purposes.
ahead. Tell people about your company as well.
No, in many ways, what we've done is created a layer that enhances existing experiences. And actually, this is very timely. We were just talking to a brand that wants to own dining moments and own moments where there's this ability to reciprocate or reward people as they're thinking about eating and thinking about going to a restaurant. And so I think with some of the things that we've created, it's about taking existing patterns of behavior. In this case, people already wanting to order food and are hungry and have clearly indicated this. And hopefully there's the ability for brands, especially in this particular case, there's a financial services company with reward points and things like that, to actually plug into that. So Keep is all about
because right now you're doing rewards for people that play games online.
Yes.
Maybe you could do rewards for people that order food online.
We've already expanded. So actually we started with games, but the impetus to the idea expanding was, hey, these moments of achievement, moments where you trigger something that could potentially be a reward, it exists in any type of app. So when we looked at that, we progressed from games, we went to fitness, we went to utility, and actually food and recipe has been our latest. And one of the apps that we actually integrated into is an app called Food on the Table, which was a meal planning app. And we're starting to think more about dining and people going to restaurants and the experience there.
Rick, are you interested in this? Do you think we could get a commission if anything ever takes place? Maybe
deal making on air.
Yeah,
I love that.
Have you been able to track what kinds of food products are the most popular? Because you get this information, you want to do something with it and use it to enhance the experience and also make more money.
We track all of that, Pim. Our recommendation engines not only see what you order, but also recommend other items that you'd like to have with that, maybe pair it with a great glass of wine. Now that we're learning through language, we know where you're flying to because you're picking that in your flight tracker that tells you, when your flight is leaving. Now we're learning your language, what you like to speak in, so it's now starting to shuffle your menus and really learn more about what you're doing to tailor fit what you like to have. And I really like this idea. I appreciate you putting this together.
You see, maybe this will happen. When you go to the airport, whether it's in Toronto or Minneapolis or LaGuardia, what will I see Rick Blatstein ordering using the OTG iPad product?
You'll see me trying a lot of different items on the menu. Yeah.
Like what would be some of your favorites? I mean, are you going to be ordering an entire dinner or lunch or just a snack?
One of my favorites in Crust in LaGuardia Terminal D is the pesto pizza. So you'll see me order that because I love it.
Brian, last point to you. This idea about using rewards to get people to do things, is it also about using rewards to keep them as customers? In other words, you don't want to lose people. It's too expensive to get them back as customers.
It's a great point. We're actually seeing this evolution right now in the sort of the blurring of lines between promotions, advertising, rewards, coupons, incentives. They're kind of becoming the same because the same thing you're using to reward someone that's loyal can actually be used to acquire a customer. So we view that as sort of the new concept that's emerging, and applying that to existing apps and existing products is really the way to go about doing things now. Rather than brands being obsessed with creating new apps all the time, try to apply it to something that your customers are doing already.